G'day everyone, welcome to another episode of HT Monaro build. What am I doing? I've got a long list of little things I've got to do. Currently I'm trying to put seat bolts in. I found the easiest way to put the seat bolts in is to use longer bolts initially to line them all up and then slowly change out the longer ones with the right size ones. Let me tell you, anyone that has done this knows this is a prick of a job. Not fun at all. So the way I was told to do it by my upholsterer is to put these seat mounts in first, put them loosely and have the seat not attached to the runners. And now, so then you've got the 4 bolts in each corner up from underneath to bolt the seat to the runner. So that's been fun. I've also put in the carpet. I've also put the accelerator pedal in. Here's the accelerator pedal. That's got full travel. Actually, probably could do a slight bit adjustment, that's alright. I've got this hose, it's the vacuum hose from the, sorry, the rubbish man's over there trying to make as much racket as he can. I've got the that hose goes from the brake booster to this fitting just here, and that goes up through the firewall onto the back of the carburetor. So I just need to make sure where I've attached that to the carburetor that the barb is actually not closed off, you know, it goes through in the middle, so I'll have to double check that. The other thing I've got is this elbow to come straight out of there and go across. Sorry again about the rubbish truck. It's just across the road. So I'll be able to, here he goes. Sorry guys. So I'll be able to, but this barber turns out to be too small, so I need to get the next size up. The other thing I've done is put the dash and the headlights in, everything there. So that's all working. Obviously I haven't got the battery connected. Got a little fire extinguisher over there. The biggest thing at the moment is just getting this seat in. I'm just really struggling. I've spent several hours trying to get the seat in. I've also been in the boot and got a windscreen washer bottle. So I'm probably going to make some sort of bracket up here and have that windscreen washer bottle sort of mounted there in the boot, and then run the water through the cab. Got to do that. I've got to put these side sill panels on. However, they're proving to be a bit of a problem because I've got all wires in here and that. So I need to sort of maybe push those wires out and work out why that's not slipping over there nicely. I'm not going to finish all the wiring before the car goes in. A lot of those wires, well 4 of those wires you see just there are for the bloody windscreen wiper. So before it goes into the clutch, a few of those aren't going to work. Got the box in. What I do need to do is make a bracket that goes from here to about here to move that back a bit, and then you can see just here I've got a riv nut, or a nut should I say, and that's where the console sits. You can see this here, the ignition module plugs into that and sits in the console. I've got the glove box in with the hydraulic fluid for the clutch, so that's hidden under the dash. I think that's pretty good like that. Just got to get a longer hose. It'll go off that barb there through this hole here and work its way to the clutch pedal, where there's a fitting for that to go there, and that is above the height of the clutch, so I can't see any issues there. Could be a bit of a problem bleeding that, because that's on a bit of an angle up, but they'll work it out. I'm paying someone to do that. Did I show you guys this is Jamie Wincup and Peter Brock, or the other way around? 88, yeah, Wincup and not Brock. What am I saying? Wincup and Lowndes. Yeah, so they signed this car years ago. I got that done when I was living in Port Hedland. Another issue that I currently have is I can't get the indicators to work. So I haven't actually I haven't been fault finding, but I've got to get that done. The horn's not working, so I've got to get the horn working. But look, at the end of the day, these are jobs that I will sort of tackle. Like it's going in to get the clutch done. One of the big things I've got to do before that is like the handbrake. I've got to get the handbrake working, because that's not connected by the cables underneath, and there's no bracket, so I need to lift the car right up high, as high as I can get it, and weld a bracket on the gearbox cross member to take the wire for the cable for the handbrake. There's a bracket under there. That was taken off because the original gearbox cross member that I was given from Mal Woods didn't fit. So other than that, there's plenty of little things I've got to do. I've got to pull these door skins off and put the plastic behind them, plus the GTS badge needs to go here on the door skins. These, apparently you can't, door handles for the back, apparently you can't get new ones. I didn't know that. So I've actually got to, I'll show you, watch my mug. I've actually got to pull that off and repaint it. You can see that the paint's not real good, but you know, that's not the sort of job I'm too worried about doing until, you know, prior to the clutch getting done. Basically, I just want to go through this list of stuff I've got to do, and I'll tell you the list. I'll show you the list after, but go through that list, and that's the safety related stuff I've got to go through. I'll just check all the fluids as far as leaks for fuel, brake fluid, check that vacuum hose to make sure that's connected. I've got to disconnect or blank off the oil catch can outlets on the front of the headers there. Just blank them off so they could just drive it, or maybe just put a hose on there or whatever, and a water bottle or something, you know, for the time being until I get the proper catch can fitted. So that kind of needs to be done. When I got the Castlemaine Rod Shop brake kit, the Woolwoods brake kit, it didn't fit on that well, and I made up a bit of a shim, and now I found out that I didn't realise that they'd supplied a bolt kit that comes with a proper shim and all that, so I just want to replace them, make sure that's all good. I want to go through and tighten up all the nuts and bolts and all that sort of shit, make sure that's all good. I've glued these down, so that's fitted. I've got to do the other side over here, I mean. See, that's bent over there, so we'll do that. And look, other than that, you know, it could pretty much, it's getting close to being drivable for them to do that, fit that clutch for me. So without further ado, I'm going to keep fiddle fucking around with this seat. As I say, anyone that's done it knows what a prick of a job it is. But, you know, I've got to tell you people, it's pretty cool to be able to sit in the old Monaro and look at the, you know, where we're at right now. It's a pretty cool product at the moment. I've just put that little badge on the back, centre of the back seat there. I hope you can see that. Yeah, which isn't important, but I did it anyway. So, anyway, I'll keep boxing on with this seat, and when I do some other more interesting things, I'll bring you on board, but for now it's just lots of little jobs, checking the tension of all the suspension components and brakes and you know, the control arms and I've got to do a bit of a basic wheel alignment because the wheel alignment's shockingly out, so I've got to do a basic wheel alignment on it so it can be at least driven around the block a couple of times. So just get the camber and the toe in, you know, eyeball it with a string line. But yeah, I'll take you through I'll do all that and show you guys. So cheers people, talk soon. Wow, that was about 4 hours out of my life I'm never going to get back, but we've got the seats in, so my view. For those of you who may not remember or haven't been watching, I used to drive this car around when I first bought it. I've owned it since 2011, but I got rear-ended. I was involved in a traffic accident where some fucking dickhead Pete plater. We were in heavy traffic, and I looked in my mirror and I crawled forward. I stopped and I went forward. I had my wife in the car and I said, hold on, because I seen him. He was looking down at his phone. I assume his phone, I'll be honest with you, that's an assumption, but he was certainly looking down at his, looking down, you know what I mean, like this, and he saw the cars move forward, so he started moving forward, looked down, and then just bloody, I said, hold on to me missus, because I knew it was coming, and he just fucking plowed straight up my ass. But look, he didn't do a massive, like, amount of damage, and but that's when we took the car off the road, so it was around 2012, so it's certainly been a long time since I've had the interior in and, you know, drivable. So yeah, pretty stoked to be sitting here in the old rig again with the seats on and all that sort of stuff. Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna put that back there so I can just shut that door. Get a real feel for it. Yeah, man. I mean, this is where it's at, isn't it? That's where it's at. I'm like a bloody dog with two dicks at the moment. This is brilliant. It's been a long time coming. So very excited to fire it up. What I might do is, let's start it. Should we start it? I think we should start it. Why not? I'll just go and connect the battery and we'll fire it in the guts. Hey?
Are you going to put the engine on?
Might.
No.
Why?
Because I don't want it.
We're not driving. We can't drive anywhere. I've got no clutch.
What's a clutch?
It's the thing that makes the gears work. So this doesn't work. So we can't drive.
Good.
Yeah. So.
No. Dad!
What's wrong with that?
No.
You want to wind your window down?
Nah.
What do you reckon? Hey, take your ears out. Oh, I don't reckon it's too loud. I reckon it's bloody good. What do you reckon? Good. Headlights? Yeah. Huh? Don't like it. What? Girls don't like it. Girls love it. Girls my age love it. They're funny, isn't it?
Finally. Dad, how do we open this?
There you go. That was happy days. Bit of a pretend. So I've got a scaly neighbour around. Oh, Damo. Say g'day, Damo.
Oh, g'day, mate.
So what was the problem with the fucking headlights? The indicators not working?
918 wire, which feeds your back brake lights in
an American
situation.
Yeah. So my indicators weren't working, and it turns out that the Camaros and Mustangs and all that in America, how the brake lights flash instead of turn signals or orange turn signals in America. There's an extra wire that I put into the plug. I'll take you around to the plug. There's an extra wire that I put into the plug that actually shouldn't have been connected. That's all it was. So there's a white wire here. Yeah, that one shouldn't have been connected. That's all this is going to the indicator switch. And the horn's working, Damo. What's the problem with the horn, bro?
It's just not switching the earth properly. It's constantly earthed. It needs to be around the other way from your 30 on your relay to 87.
Oh yeah.
But we're doing this at 38 degrees. This is Celsius, by the way.
This is fucking piss drinking weather. Righto, I'll turn the ignition off, Damo.
Yep.
Right, cheers guys. G'day everyone. Well, I've got a bit of a list of things to do. Today is Friday, and Monday it's going in to get the clutch done. So the next couple of days I'll be busy. I'm just picking up my phone because I've got a list here on my phone. I've actually got two lists, right? So the first list I've got is a list of things that need to be done by Monday because the car's got to be roadworthy for them to be able to test drive it on the road. So yeah, got two lists of things to do before Monday. So one of the tie rod ends, I damaged the ball joint or tie rod end or whatever, taking it on and off with a ball joint splitter or something like that. Just waiting for the tie rods to turn up. I've got to adjust the accelerator pedal just slightly because I'm not getting quite enough travel. Fixed the thermo fan plug. I've just pulled the plug from the wire, it wasn't attached, so I did that this morning. I think under here, just soldered them on, so that's just going to be pushed in. I haven't pushed it in because I'm waiting on the to make sure I've got the right polarity. Right, getting back to my list. Sort out the seat belts. So the seat belts are on, but when you sit in there, the like that's facing down and not turning and stuff. So I just need to be able to get that so it sits right. So they're in there and they're on, but they're just not sitting right. I've also got to put the clip up here to hold the buckle. If I had that facing the right direction. I'm going to check the suspension bolts. So I'm going to go through. I've got a red texture pen here, and I'm going to mark each and every bolt once I've checked the torque and the tension of them. I know the control arm bolts aren't tight because we left them loose while it bedded in a bit. So all that needs to be done. So check the suspension bolts, tighten and adjust the Caltrax, so the rear suspension, double check all that and adjust it. It's put some tension on them, so that's sitting right. The other thing I've got is, when I got the Castlemaine Rod Shop, sorry, was it from Castle? No, the brakes, Willwood, sorry. When I got the Willwoods brakes for the front, see that shim bolt there? I don't know if you can see that. There's a thicker shim bolt there. It needed that, and I was like, I didn't realise the kit. I must have moved this and misplaced it or something. This kit that came with it, and it's got all the correct bolts. So, and I thought, bloody, I haven't got the right bolts, but I made something up. But I'm not quite happy with it. Like one of the bolts or something, I can't remember off the top of my head, is like millimeters from the inside of the rim. So I'm going to use the kit that's supplied. So I'm just going to take the front calipers off, put this kit on with the correct shims and the correct washers and what have you. So that's got to be done. What else is on my list before it's drivable? I've got to swap and modify the transmission cross member. The one that's on there is from Mel Woods, and I think I've mentioned it before, it's pretty shit. I've got this one from the rod shop, but it doesn't seem to line up very well. So, but in any case, I've got a new transmission mount that's, when I say line up, like height wise, but at least it looks nice. It's bent well, it's welded well, it looks neat. So I'd like to get that other transmission mount, which I'm waiting for in the mail. So it'll get here Tuesday. So I might drop that off to the shop and see if they can make that one work, and I'll just keep the one that's on it for the time being, but we can change that later on. Tighten front control arm bolt, swap the cross member. Handbrake. So the handbrake, the cables from the back of the brakes to the middle of the car. Yeah.
Oh, can I have banana with my bread, please?
Yeah. Sorry guys, mum's at work, dad's dadding. School holiday. So the cables are to the centre of the car, and then I need to put the final bit from the handbrake, install the little wheel that makes it go down the firewall and then underneath the car. And then there's a mount like that on the that was on the original transmission mount. I think it's in this steel cabinet here. Anyway, it's in the shed somewhere or whatever. And that was in the way. So they really didn't do a very good job of designing it, whatever. They did a terrible job. I had to cut it off. So, because it was fouling on my gearbox. So I've got to come up with, if I'm, at least whilst I'm in the process of, I need the handbrake to work. And because I can't put this one on because I don't have the transmission mount, I'm going to have to weld something like this onto that other mount from underneath for the time being. So I've got to do that to get the handbrake to work. Replace the front globe, so yeah, just a globe on this indicator here. Didn't have a globe in it, so the correct globe in it, so I've got that. The door sills sitting on the back seat there. I've got to go in here, put the door sills on. Rear number plate lamp. I've got to mount this little thing, screw that into the bumper, and then put the globe in there. That's easy enough. The horn's not working, so I bought a steering wheel puller because I can't get the steering wheel off. Got to pull the steering wheel off, and my mate's been under there checking shit for me and got to the stage where he thinks it's in the column there. So whilst that's in there, there's a few scratches here, so it might be an opportunity to repaint that as well. So that looks neat. Torque all the bolts and mark with a paint pen where we just spoke about that. I'll go through and just check everything. Recheck all the brake and fuel fittings for leaks. I don't think there is any, but I'm just going to check them. I've got to grease the ball joints and whatever, so I'll just go through them with a grease gun and do that, and then run the hoses for the washer through the cab. So I've got that big long hose there, 6 meters of, it looks thick, but it's actually only 5 mil or something. It'll actually go on to here. Now these things here, I'll put the phone down. These things here, I've got 2 of them. They're the windscreen washers out of a HQ. Now, because I haven't got the original ones anymore on the bonnet because of the scoop, these are gonna, I don't know, they'll go in here, something like that, and screw into there. So I've got to make that work, whatever the case is. I've seen them before, so people use the HQ style one, so I'll do that. And then run that hose, I'll just put this back into the boot. I've got to get a fish pump, one-way valve so it holds pressure. I've bought this windscreen washer bottle, and I'm going to make a bracket that's going to sort of sit there somehow. So that's the windscreen washer bottle in the boot for the windscreen washer. So that's cool. That might not get done before. Putting the car in. Other than that, that is all that's on my list to get the car drivable. What else is on my list? Got to secure the fire extinguisher. That's just sitting in there, but again, that's just over there. That doesn't need to be done. I've got to make a bracket for that. I'll just sit down. Oh, excuse me, sorry. Got to move this gear shifter. I think it's going to come back, so just about 3 inches or something. So I'm not going to worry about that for now. So I'm not going to worry about the console, which is why that's sitting there like that for now. But that will be inside the console. Then I've got to mount that sort of stuff. But again, I'm not going to worry about that for now. What else is on my list? I've got to do the seatbelt clips. So with the fuel filler I don't think I've got a gasket under here. So I've got gaskets in there, so I'll put 2 cork or 1 cork gasket in there, a thick one. But I don't think there's a gasket sealing that around from the inside. So I'm getting water in the boot, well I was at least. So I had to wait until I got all these rubbers in to try and rectify that. So that's done. On the list, complete this car, is this has got to be done, put the rubber on, and the trim. This trim needs to be done, fit that trim. These 2 stainless got to go on the grill all the way, so that's got to be done. What else on my list? Here's the center console. I've just got to glue this wood grain down, and then what I've done is done a cutout in there for the plug for the MSD ignition. So the ignition will sit in there, will bolt into there, and then there's a nut that I put into the console on the car, sorry, the transmission hump on the car, that will secure this down, and I'll make some brackets or something for the front. But again, that doesn't need to be done yet. I've got to paint the rear armrests because they're old, and you can't get, no one supplies new ones, so I've got to make do with what I've got. So get some interior plastic paint or whatever and paint them up. Still got to put the plastic underneath the door cards. I think it's a moisture barrier, you know, those plastic that sticks to the inner door, so we'll do that. Install the GCS door card badges. I've got those badges. Again, none of this needs to be done before the weekend, but just the GCS badges are going to go there. So I've got to do that. Alright guys, day 2 of this operation of getting it ready for going to the mechanic. So what I've done is pulled the wheels off, and I'm just going through and I'm checking all the torque on all of the bolts. I'm giving it grease where it needs grease, just marking the bolts, make sure they're all being checked, steering box bolts and so on and so forth, putting split pins where they need split pins, just finalising everything. One thing I haven't done yet is I haven't torqued these up on the upper control arms or the lower control arms. I haven't done that yet because I will put the wheel back on and I'll put the weight of the car on them before I tighten them up. So, and then I'll mark them. The other thing I'm doing is just running around with a can of black rattle spray paint and just giving it a touch up where I need to. I'm trying to fix this headlight. I've got power at, the indicator. I've got power at the 2 electrical points, but I haven't got, the light's not working, so I don't know what's going on there. Put this in yesterday, trimmed up the carpet. It's gonna have to be sort of a custom setup there because of the speaker and the wiring harness going in. I don't know what I'm going to do there, but there'll be a speaker in there anyway, so I'll play with that later. That hose is for the oil line, goes to the slave cylinder. I put the broken clutch pedal on. Still working on the horn, haven't touched the horn yet. I changed the seat belts, so the seat belts now sit properly and whatever. I've got the adjusting buckle at the bottom, not the top. I had it on the top initially, and I worked out the seat belt was upside down, so hopefully that's correct there. So what else did I do yesterday? Not sure. I did the other wheel. I did the front wheel on this side. But yeah, just the engine mounts and stuff like that. And the grease, I've still got to give it a wheel alignment. What I'm going to do is put these ramps under the front wheels and the axle stands under the back, and then I will do that wheel alignment so I can get under there and fix the handbrake. And other than that, I think we are not far from being done. So look, I'll keep boxing on. I haven't filmed it because I'm not really doing anything new. I'm just actually just checking the torque on stuff, so pretty boring stuff for you. I've got this side done as well. That's pretty good. So she's coming together. It's coming together. Got to say I'm happy. Right, I'll put you on hold now, and I'll get back to it. If I do anything exciting, I will let you know. But I've got this hose now to run through the cabin. That's for the windscreen washer bottle. These are HQ sprayers. I'm not sure if I told you yesterday without that rubber there. The HQ sprayers, and they'll mount in the grill. I think I did show you that. So got to do that as well. But I'm not too bothered if that doesn't get done before it goes to the mechanic, because that'll be one of the last things that and the horn. Like, I'd like to get the horn working, but yeah, we'll see. Righto, cheers guys. G'day guys, today's the day. Today's very exciting. I'm going to go and pick up the Monaro from the workshop, and it's drivable. So let's get in the Toyota. Going to get a car trailer. It's an hour from home, and just rather than drive it, you know, I'd like to build up a bit of confidence with it. So yeah, I'll go and get a car trailer, load it up, I'll take it home, and then we're going for a spin. Happy days. Cheers guys. Thank you for your, that's a nice little rock. I tell you mate, you probably hear it all the time. You don't know how often you fucking deal with people that they just let you down, and I'm really pleased with the work you guys have done. So thank you. Not a problem.
Big moment, hey babe? That's not going to scrape, is it?
Pull that other pin out. Both pins out. Pull it out.
going to run onto the gutter. Hopefully I filmed it okay.
Yeah, morning everyone. So, give you a bit of an update. We picked up the old girl off the mechanic yesterday. Go through a little bit about what they did and what they said. So, all in all, I've done a pretty good job so far. I always wanted to change these leads out, the ignition leads, because they were, if you remember, they were over the top of the motor. So these guys did that while they were there. They went into Chev Power, by the way, and I've got to say, I'm really impressed with their work and you know, the time they spent with me and get the job done. So, and they've done a good job too by the looks of it. So, what first thing I did was adjust those leads. They've also told me that I'm not getting full secondaries open. This here should turn full 90 degrees or something when the secondaries are open. So we need to move this back further. So I need to make another bracket that would sort of end here instead of here. So that there will be just a bracket that moves that down, and then we've got all of this adjustment in here because that's on the last part of the throttle, and look how loose that is. You can see under there. They got the clutch in. It feels good. The clutch feels really good. I've got no complaints with the clutch at all. The car's bloody low, too low, and it's causing a few problems there. Looks like the rear diff may need to come out, and the pinion angle, it's got about 9 to 10 degrees on the diff facing down, I think they said, and it should have like 3 to 4. So along with that issue, he went to take the drive, and this wheel was rubbing on the inner guard straight away. As soon as you went to drive it, he said, fuck, that's rubbing really bad on the inner guard. All the other the back ones were okay apart from that one. So what he did at the moment, he's just put a wheel spacer in there, like a 5 or 10 mil wheel spacer in there, and it's sitting fine. Wheel spacers aren't the ideal scenario to have, so I'm not going to run around too much with a wheel spacer in there. I want to pull that out and get it rectified. Now, because of that pinion angle, I'm going to find someone, maybe Final Drive or something like that, that will pull my diff out, change the pinion angle, like grind the mounts off, and re-weld them on with a better pinion angle and slightly more centered so that it won't rub, and I don't have to use the what do you call it, wheel spacers. So next issue is this front is too low. So the Willwoods kit brings the wheel travel out, or the wheel out by 7 mil. I can't even get a finger under there. That guard hasn't been rolled. However, don't really want to. I mean, I could get it rolled. They're also 195 tyres. In any case, it's too low. It's rubbing all the way down to here. You can't turn, you can't do anything. It's ridiculous. So I need to lift it. I've got drop stubs in there, or drop spindles in there. I'm going to pull them out, and I'm going to put the factory ones back in there. Which are these ones? And see how that goes, along with these shortened springs that I had. I was running these before, lowered springs, so I'll just put that on the ground so you can see it. I'm going to put these in there. And that's how I had it. I was running around like that for a long time, and it did lower. It looked pretty good. That was with the 14-inch wheels. They looked pretty good, but you can see that I mean, it's just too low. The whole car's too low. The exhaust is scraping, which isn't ideal. So we might look at lifting it just a little bit. I'll have a look at that, these rear springs, and see if we're going to leave those where they are as far as height wise goes. But anyway, I haven't really driven the car around too much because of the issue I'm having with the tyres rubbing. So today's job will be just to change those spindles out, put the old ones back in with the lowered springs. And we'll see how we go, because ideally I'd like to have a bit more of a drive. I wanted to drive filming with you guys for the initial drive, so I think we can still class the first drive as I'll take you with me when I get these spindles in, because literally I drove up and down the street and I couldn't drive any further. Those wheels were rubbing just too much. So I'm going to get into that and then we'll get this thing on the road. And it's bloody pissing down with rain today, look at that. I wouldn't dream about it. Bloody pissing down with rain the day that I want to drive the car, but it's supposed to clear up the servo, so that gives me all this morning to root around and change those spindles out, put those lowered springs in there, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, bear with me. I'll take you with me as I always do, and we'll go from there. I was just trying to think anything else that he really said. He reckons I've done a pretty good job of the car. The clutch is operating well. It feels good. He drove it for about 5 or 6 k's. Admittedly, I drove around the block when I had my dad with me and my young son with me. The car was too low just with our weight in it, because they're the original springs on the front too with the lowered spindles, so those springs are probably clagged out as well. But anyway, with all of our weight it was just too much, but I could manage to get around the block once or twice just by myself, and it felt pretty good, the motor. So it's good. I'm looking forward to it. Righto guys, let's get into it. Cheers. Righto guys, progressing along with this hub swap out. This is the factory Holden one. I don't know if that's left or right. I've got to work that out. Haven't even looked at that yet. So as I say, that's the factory Holden one. You see that drop spindle's just a lot higher in the wheel, and this one's a lot lower. So to get these off, all I've got to do is pull off these I don't know what the hell these are called, the bottom ones off the lower control arm. I've just tied up the caliper so that doesn't damage anything, because that's a hard line just in here on that caliper. I've got to undo the top and lower nut, and then I can just about break that ball joint and the lower ball joint as well. So yeah, pull this nut off, drop the lower, drop the top, and we can put the new one in, pull that spring out, put a new spring in there. What I'll probably end up doing is putting a trolley jack under there to hold that up, so that if that spring comes out, it might come out at a bloody rate of knots. That's a bit dangerous, so we'll watch for that as well. So yeah, I'll keep going. Cheers. On a lap of Frio in the new rig. All the kids inside. Cars and coffee meet. Goes.
Yeah, it does.
It really goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're off our first cars and coffee meet.
We're gonna go.
Even though the car's not finished.
We're gonna go display the car.
Righto, turn it on, mate. So today we're at our first cars and coffee. And first time I've been able to bring the car down, so this is over there. Pretty stoked to have it in. So So yeah, it's not quite finished, but I'm stoked to finally get it here. Happy days.
So we've got Hank coming past.
Well, there you have it, guys. Thanks for watching. She's a runner. I think next episode what I might do is run through the remaining list of things that need to be doing and some of the issues that have cropped up. There hasn't been many, so she's pretty good. And also try and get some better footage of me driving it, or so you can hear it and, you know, see how she goes, because she really does go. She's absolutely stoked. She's good to go, and looking forward to bringing out the next episode with a bit more footage and more updates for you. So thanks for sticking with me. See you again.